Appreciate you, love.
So, my question is I got out of a relationship last November, and basically, I'm kind of in this weird space about whether, okay, so the relationship started on a good note. We met at work, we were coworkers. We met just before I turned 27. I'm 29 now. And we took things slowly, everything was good. And then about 2 months into us talking, I had his phone. We were in the conference room, and I realized that he was still speaking to his ex. And the issue with this is we spoke pretty early on about, if we're dating other people, talking to other people, whether we have exes. And this was my first relationship. He said that his ex and him hadn't spoken in like 8 months. So I'm under the impression that he's telling the truth. So I will be completely honest. When I had his phone in the conference room, I was supposed to be looking at music, but I felt like there was a little bit of something off because he would talk about her here and there in kind of like a negative light. And I've always been told if a man refers to his ex as crazy or whatever, to kind of have your alarm bells going off a little bit.
Right.
So anyways, I discovered that, left the conference room, and I was going out of town that weekend. He wrote me a whole letter apologizing, the whole 9 yards. And mind you, this is still before we're officially together. So after that happened, I kind of like took a couple days and then decided it was worth continuing to talk to him because he said he would set the boundaries, stop talking to her, and whatever the case may be. So after that, it became this pattern where he would tell me they just spoke here and there, not that often. I ended up realizing they were speaking every day on the phone. So I felt like I was kind of lied to again. And about a couple weeks after that, I'd gone on vacation. I guess she was following my Instagram or like checking on my Instagram. I didn't know that. And got back in touch with him through her friend's phone. Didn't tell me about that. They had a conversation. He told her, you need to stop contacting me. She started contacting my phone off of different numbers. And it became this whole like, I'm getting harassed by your ex situation. And so at this point, I feel like you're putting me in a really bad spot and making me look very dumb. And I told him to let her know if she doesn't stop trying to contact me at least, but definitely the both of us, we're going to take some type of legal action of like harassment, because I've had to do that once years ago. And so after that, I'm thinking, okay, we've sent the message, we're on the same team, like she actually is a bit off her rocker, because to go to that extent to find my information is a lot. So anyways, he, at that point, I think a week later, when she was now continuing to blow up his phone and like having a meltdown, he decided to go to her place to try and calm her down and like get to some type of understanding so that it didn't have to get to like a legal situation.
Right.
And he didn't tell me about that. I had to find out about that probably a week or two later because, yes, again, I did go through that phone and I saw that he sent her like $40 for gas money. Mind you, we're in two very different socioeconomic statuses. So for her, that was doing a lot. For me, that, anyways, besides the point. So that's kind of the context of how things started off in our relationship. Extremely rocky, very much no foundation of trust because of that. And it took probably another month of trying to have conversations about how we're going to move forward. And looking back now, I know that I probably should have left center, I should have left the stage, just exited out of the situation. But I didn't, and I decided to pursue a relationship with him. And it was pretty rocky of a relationship because even though he has a lot of great qualities and we have, a lot of great chemistry, all the things. I held a lot of resentment and I became very hyper vigilant. And so the majority of our 1.5 year relationship was like trying to rebuild trust and move past that. We did couples therapy and it was just up and down a lot. And so my question, which I feel like I kind of know the answer, but at times I second guess myself, is it's been, so we ended things last November.
Mm-hmm.
And during that conversation, he basically, let me know, like, I have done a lot to fuck up what we were supposed to have been like because of all the shit that I did at the beginning of the relationship. And, I understand that I can't ask you to wait for me, but I am planning to take the next year to get myself together, get my finances together. Not that he wasn't doing well financially, but like, because we're always arguing, we were not focused on what we should have been. So, long story short, he wanted to take that year and get himself together, become someone ready to be like a husband, a father, and let me know throughout that year that I'm still the person he wants, and then try and get back in a relationship within a year's time. Or like at a 1 year mark, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is whether you think that's a situation worth giving someone a chance to kind of redeem themselves and start on a new page, or whether it's worth kind of not pursuing, or if you believe that like when someone kind of has the habit of triangulating or dealing with exes, if it's not worth giving them a second shot. Oh my God, am I confusing people? I just looked down at the message. I'm so sorry. I was trying to give as much context, but maybe I'm not making sense. So, basically,
so what was missing in the connection? Is it just like a financial matter? I know it's convoluted with the whole ex thing as well, but what does him getting himself together mean?
So, I think for the whole relationship, or a lot of the relationship rather, wasn't all of it, but for us to be focused on trying to rebuild something so like foundational, which is just having emotional safety, we weren't grinding and focusing as much on our own individual paths as we could have been. So partially just like focusing more on his career, getting himself back together. And I think we had both built a bit of like resentment. I know I did, because of all the like constant arguing. So I feel like a lot of it was him needing to grow up and figure out what led him to be codependent and have attachments to people that didn't need to be in their lives anymore. Because to me, it's very clear, if you're not dating someone, like, you don't need to be in touch with exes. So I feel like we needed time apart just in general. Like, we couldn't keep going on the same pattern, but more so for him to grow up, get refocused on his life, and just become a better version of himself, because we couldn't do that in the relationship. It just wasn't working. I wasn't happy. So that is what that looked like. Now, I'm sure that maybe involves some therapy, some whatever the heck, but like, I wasn't about to interrogate him of like, what are you going to be doing over the next 365 days?
Right. How recently did y'all have this conversation?
So he told me all of this back in November when we ended the relationship, and told me that he would do check-ins with me throughout the year to let me know that like he was still intentional about that. So like a couple months later in March on my birthday, he had like written me a letter and given me some gifts, had the same conversation. And then probably about like 6 weeks after that, we were no longer going to be working in the same building as coworkers. We still worked in the same company, but he wasn't going to be in the same building anymore. So he stopped by my office and let me know that, and then kind of reiterated these same things about that being his intention. And my response was basically to tell him that I I told you back in November, I'm not waiting on you. I'm not promising you anything right now. I'm not looking to reconnect in the future. So I've never really given him the impression that it's gonna be successful for him to try and come back. But I think I just wanted. I've seen a couple people say she already knows the answer, and y'all are not wrong necessarily. But I think that sometimes a bit of scarcity mindset kind of creeps into my mind when I think of, being 29 and someone having a lot of great qualities apart from that situation that happened, and kind of feeling like, okay, if he detaches from that person, because there was never any issues with any other women, like besides that ex situation. So I didn't feel like he had a wandering eye or was lustful in that sense.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it
Really
was
quick.
just worth giving it another chance or
I
not.
got you. Okay. So what were the bad qualities, just specifically? Just the emotional attachment to the ex, and then the financial lacking the
No,
resources.
he has a good career. So it wasn't that he was lacking financially. It was, if anything, more that just wasn't as focused, and similar to me. Like, I also have a good career, but I wanted to work on other projects outside of work. So we just weren't focused as much as we could have been on what we needed to do. But I would say his bad qualities were um, the trust issue,
Uh
and then
huh.
probably emotional regulation, which I would also say was on me as well, because we would argue a lot.
Right. Okay. So the trust issue and emotional regulation, the financial component isn't that serious. The issue
No,
is
not.
the way that you're describing it is like the antithesis of what a relationship is. This whole situation is an antithesis of what a relationship is. You're like, okay, we can't grow together, so we're going to be apart so we can grow. Right off, just that, I'm like, what are we doing? Right? Because in a relationship, there's going to be issues, there's going to be ruptures. You come together and repair. As a general heuristic that I use, it's like if you have to take a break of any sort, you just aren't supposed to be together.
Yeah, I I think that's fair. I definitely think that us trying to give it a shot while being together was not working, and so regardless, to me, the end of the relationship was that. Um, but I think that I still held out some possibility because he felt really certain about the fact that we could reconnect after time apart.
No,
But
it's
to
going.
your point,
The thing is, it's going to feel like that's true because time apart is relief. The stressor was the combination of you two coming together. That's what
Mhm.
added all of the problems. So of course, when you take a break and you no longer have the trigger around you, you're going to feel like I feel so much better. Yeah, we should get back together. Yeah, and then guess what happens? The same, like people take breaks and they break up because there's a problem they cannot solve. Breaking up or taking breaks are the last resort.
Yeah,
It is an admission that we either are lacking the willingness or the skill to come together and figure this out. So we take a break or we break up. But that's not a
yeah,
solution. That doesn't solve the problem. Everything that he's supposed to do during this break could have been done in the relationship. You can learn how to emotionally regulate within a relationship. You can focus on goals within a relationship. You can do all of those things within a relationship. Question is, why could that not be done in this situation? You don't need a break for that. You can go to therapy while in a relationship. What is the break? What is the function of the break?
yeah. I do agree with you. I think that we exhausted a lot of trying with going to therapy, and ultimately, I feel like I kind of was hoping for a relationship that wasn't actually the one I was existing in, because I wasn't happy a lot of the time, and that
Right.
kind of led to it just not working, even though we tried different things,
Mm-hmm.
because of the trust issue. So I didn't know if having that time apart and it being clear what was like the original domino to everything else falling
Mm-hmm.
would, like, if enough time apart would make sense to at least
Mm-hmm.
not get back together when he, is like, okay, it's been this amount of time. Are you in that space? But like giving a chance to observe if someone's changed. But I feel like trust is kind of hard to. It's not like, oh, he wasn't taking me on dates and now I can observe that he's planning dates and whatever. Trust is kind of something you have to like risk, like you do in any relationship, that what someone is telling you is the truth, because it's not like I want to be hyper vigilant, checking your phone, checking your location in order to know that what you're saying is true. So I guess, do you think that once people go on long breaks, that's kind of.
Not necessarily, but they. So there are no black and white rules with this kind of stuff. I'm just speaking towards general patterns, right? What it
Yeah.
typically works when people get back together is they don't plan on it. Like I think that breaks and stuff like that only should be prescribed for people who are married. Maybe they get separated for a time, right? That's because of the level of commitment that is at play. But not when it comes to like someone you're just dating, someone you just been your boyfriend or girlfriend. No, that's not necessary. Like if you were in a situation where y'all broke up and then y'all just crossed paths and then that work was done and it works now, cool. But to plan it and then put your life on hold, I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying that's what a lot of people tend to do. They'll wait around for the other person and there's nothing that has changed. Because growth also isn't linear. You can't put a time limit on that. You can't be like, okay, in the year, I'm going to work on myself this year. I'm going to go do a lot this year and focus, really focus. And then when I come back, we're not going to have this problem anymore. Don't work like that. All of that stuff that y'all buried and hasn't really been resolved is just going to come back into your field of vision once you get back together. There will be a honeymoon period once you get back together, and that's going to seduce you into thinking that the problem is solved. Then conflict is going to come back up. Then that resentment is going to bleed back out. You'll be fighting over something else. You'll bring up the fact that he was talking with his ex. He's going, why are you bringing up the past? All that kind of shit is going to happen, right? So
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
something that I would do.
Yeah, that's kind of been my gut feeling or intuition, that ultimately, like I said, I'm 29 and I know that the type of relationship and marriage I want to build on, the
Right.
biggest lesson I've learned is that trust and emotional safety is non negotiable. And so, even though I think it may be possible for him to learn from his mistakes, or not even his mistakes, his choices and his immaturity at the time, me entering back to give him another chance, even if he has made certain changes, doesn't erase the wound of what happened and like the history of the relationship that happened from breaking trust that early. So I do think that for me to feel completely safe and at peace with someone, having that history always be a fact regardless is not going to, it's not going to benefit, because we wouldn't be getting back into a relationship just to try and date again. Like, I mean, he even has said himself, I want you to be my wife, this, that, and the third. And I've never given him the impression, as I said, in the two conversations we've had since we broke up, that, yeah, like, I am on the same page. It's really kind of been the opposite, because I'm not waiting on him. But as you said, it's weird when you end a relationship to plan a reconnection. Usually it's just like, okay, we broke up, and then if one person wants to reach out, then maybe they'll reach out, as opposed to someone saying like, hey, at this time, I'm going to come back with this
Mm-hmm.
intention, with this level of seriousness, and I'm not saying you have to be there, but that's my plan. I'm not saying you have to work towards that, but that's what I'm working towards. So I think having that open loop in my mind and knowing that that conversation is coming up at some point has, just kind of been something that I have been curious about. But I feel like I should not have a scarcity mindset and just realize it, instead of giving someone like their 20th chance. There's better men that haven't gotten their first chance. So,
Right. I agree.
okay. Well, yeah, I think I just needed to hear it from a perspective and from a voice that I appreciate and think is very credible in this space. But yeah, I also see a lot of people saying that 29 is young. It doesn't always feel young as a woman, but thank you for that. So appreciate that.
Yeah, there's other options out there, love. I mean, you don't want to go from one extreme to the other, like from a scarcity mindset to like, oh, there's always going to be another one around the corner, because that's also not true. But yeah, when you see it doesn't work, especially if you're doing everything you can on your end to show up in a healthy way and it's still not working. And I wouldn't ever look at potential. I would only look at trajectory. That's something I've talked about in my content, which is a lot of people, both men and women, mostly women, will try to make decisions based off of potential and then end up disappointed. Trajectory is something that's different. Trajectory means when I met you, you were already heading in this direction.
Yeah.
Right? It's different from like dating a guy who's like broke and you're like, but I think he can make money, than compared to dating a guy who is broke, but he's in school pursuing a degree that maps towards additional income. That's trajectory. That's a good bet. Not this person can hypothetically become the person I want, because everyone has potential. Every person on the planet does. Doesn't mean you're supposed to be with them. So
See, I think the trajectory was good in the sense of like career or like more things on paper, and the trust thing did not continue. Like, it's not like he kept talking to his ex while we were in a relationship together. Being completely honest, I think sometimes when trust is broken, the person who was betrayed ends up not being able to truly be happy and present their best selves. And so even if the person stops the behavior, it's almost like the betrayed person ends up becoming the issue in the relationship. And not saying like I'm blaming myself, but how you respond to someone, how you act around someone, just changes. And I think that in that situation, I mean, hindsight is 2020. If I could go back, I would have chosen to walk away initially and not give it another chance. But yeah, I think it's something that if it had continued, it would be a lot clearer of a decision for me. And it is a fairly clear decision, but it's not as black as white. Sometimes I think like, am I just not healed enough to have like put that past me, or is it just something that my gut, my nervous system, my intuition is telling me like, okay, if this person has done this in the past and injured you in this way, even if they do change, your safety and happiness with a person would be better off that has not created this injury in general.
right. Yeah, I mean, to your point, it's a gray area situation. I mean, because trust was broken on both sides, because you did go through his phone, right? That's a breach of trust. So there's something on your end as well. And to your point again, there are some people who can trust again. That's a developmental thing. That's like a skill that people cultivate, right? The thing that keeps you from not trusting is keeping the story alive of how you were betrayed. And that's just a decision. You can decide not to keep that story alive. You can decide to change that story, right? I'm just telling you this moving forward because you don't want to make the same mistakes in a future connection, you know? But I got to get moving on, love. We'll have to call. I got 12 people waiting. But I appreciate the question, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You take care.
Me too.
All right. Who else do we got?
What is this? What we're doing to these people today?
That is Deborah Thompson.
Hello?
Lives in Ohio. You see her here talking with MS Now reporter.
She watching the news. That's that 50 plus account. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
So I would like to ask, how can I, like, heal from someone who broke up with me, but I'm still in love with them, and like, I would really want to like fix things, but like she doesn't want to. So like, how can I heal from something like this?
Okay, say it again. You want to heal from what?
So basically, like she broke up with me, right? Because like the last months of the relationship, it like wasn't going really good, but like the whole time we were just fighting, and like it wasn't it at all.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was like, before I was like, I knew God, I was really lustful, and that also like affected the relationship. So she broke up with me, and I still love her, and I still want to fix things, but she doesn't want to at all. And what could I do to like heal from that, so I don't like want her anymore? You know what I'm trying to say?
Gotcha. Okay. How old are you two?
I'm 19, she's 20.
Okay. And how long ago did she break up with you?
Like 5 months ago, like 4 months ago, 5, something like this.
Gotcha. Okay. So first step is you gotta process your emotions, right? So all that means is you gotta create space to like sit with what you're feeling and like intentionally feel it. A lot of people try to suppress their emotions. They try to distract themselves from their emotions. You can't do that. It slows down the process, and you'll have to go through it longer than necessary. If you want to get through this as fast as possible, sit with your emotions and feel them, because the process of feeling them allows them to be released. Okay. Second thing is kind of pretend like she is dead. What I mean by that is no following her on social media, no looking at old pictures, no reading old conversational threads, like no lurking, deleting old pictures. You want to remove any kind of trigger that can remind you of the person. You may not have to delete it, but maybe like put it in a Google Drive or something like that. You know, just you shouldn't just look at those things. That'll cause you to ruminate a bit more. The third is to spend time with people, like your support system, so family and friends, people who love and care about you. That'll be your base. And the fourth is try to find a way to turn the pain into progress. So emotions are just energy in motion. They're just energy. It's energy, excess energy. Okay? You can use that excess energy to achieve some sort of goal that you may have. A lot of people get into the best shape of their lives due to heartbreak or achieve some financial goal they may have. I would encourage you to do the same. Okay? So that's how you're going to get through it. But you got to embrace the fact that it's going to suck for some time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. It really helped me a lot. Like, before I came in here, I was like really down. Like, I was like almost like really sad, right? But now that I talked to you, like, it really helped me. And thank you so much.
Absolutely, brother. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. What else do we have? Hello? Hello? Hello?
What's going on, man? How you doing? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Chief?
Alright, I have one quick question. So you know how they say like you shouldn't like shit where you eat, you know, like you shouldn't date where you work, or you shouldn't
Right.
blah blah blah.
Right.
Is it shitting to eat like to date within a friend group or like a mutual friend, or what do you think?
How old are you?
It's the man coming on now. Oh man. Sorry, I'm reading the chat.
You're good. You're good. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Okay. So you're asking, is it a bad idea to date within a friend group?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would like call it a friend group, but like we all like. I'm in the Bay, and this town that I'm in is pretty. I don't think people would know that small, but it's kind of small, you know. So we all just kind of overlap and see each other and whatnot. So
Right. Okay. Okay. So what's the downside?
that's a great question. I guess just drama, right? Or like if like you go for someone and then it don't work out, and then like now like maybe my friends might have like or bad feelings for their friends or their friends vice versa, or
Right.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far about it honestly.
Right.
So I'm just
Yeah.
spitballing right now.
That's just a way for you to like make better decisions. Always try to get a clear indication of what the downside is. What's the upside? What's the downside? Downside in the situation doesn't seem that bad. It
It
doesn't.
really don't compared to the pros.
Right, right. So
That's not big like that.
like I'll talk to guys, man, and they're like, should I approach someone in the gym? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And they're like, but what if she doesn't like me? It's gonna be awkward. That's the downside? Awkward? Right? Like
Right.
just 'cause a little emotion is the downside, it's gonna go away in a week. Fuck out of here. It's not that big a deal. So in this situation, the downside is not that bad. Comparatively to the upside, right? Like the gym situation again, the upside is you could potentially meet your wife. The downside is awkwardness. It sounds like it's a very easy decision if you ask me. So in this situation, the downside isn't that bad, brother. So I say go for it. You know?
Okay. Okay. Look, there's a question in the chat that I kind of want to address and maybe get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like it's flirting. Ams is asking if she's showing interest. I feel like she's showing interest because we was at the party and she's like, "Oh, what are you wearing?" She like popped my shirt real quick. You know what I mean? Like just like that's a little flirty. And then the next day, she sent me this random picture of me and her, and we was dancing in the club. And I had no idea this picture even existed. This is the first I've seen it.
Right.
But she sent it to me like randomly. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And what I should have said was like, oh, I'm going to remember that night forever. I don't know. I didn't want to be extra, but I was just like, oh, that's so cute.
Right. Right. Okay.
But am I wrong in thinking that sending that picture is flirty?
I think there's some interest there for sure. How did she respond to that's so cute though?
Just like a little emoji react or whatever. I just seen her yesterday on my birthday though.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, one thing holding this situation back is you, bro. Like I always tell guys, man, like they want to have clarity before they take action, but the clarity comes after you take the action. That's where you get the clarity. You know what I mean? Like when you flirt with them, when you ask them out, all that kind of stuff, that's when you'll get the clarity that you see. It's just a lot of guys don't want to do that because it's them sticking their neck out a little bit. Goes back to that awkward situation, you know?
Right.
But yeah, bro, it looks green to me.
It feels green, and the only thing I'm really waiting for is like a chance to tell her like in person. Like I feel like it would just be cuter that way. You feel me? Like instead of just texting her one random night. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can. I mean, it's always better. In person is always better. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we see each other like here and there. Like I'm finna see her on Wednesday. We all gonna go to the movies and whatnot. So I don't know. But then that's the other thing. I'm like, is that the space to tell her like when we kicking in with the homies? Or do I tell her like in this big ass party, you know what I mean, where we kind of get isolated?
Right.
I don't like using that word, isolated, but
yeah, I would try to.
I'm just tactful.
Yeah, I got you. Like ideally, you would want to be one-on-one, but I wouldn't miss out on the opportunity if you can't be isolated. You get what I'm saying? It's like if you can make that happen, sure, best play. If you can, because I tell guys, man, if you want her, someone else does too.
Word.
There's always other players on the board, so you want to have a bit of urgency about yourself. So I wouldn't let opportunities like pass you by. So next opening you get, go ahead and take it.
All right, man. Look, I'm gonna come back to you and I'm gonna report back, man.
All right.
Look,
Keep me posted, bro.
look. All All right, man. Well, look, I appreciate you because, man, I feel like out of all the dating coaches, you got the most level headed and you actually smart. Like, you be saying some shit like Audre Lorde says it. Because Audre Lorde, you know who Audre Lorde is?
Mm-mm.
Everybody should know who Audre Lorde is, so go look up Audre Lorde. But she has, like, this good questionnaire, like, what is your biggest fear and what's the worst that can happen if that fear happens?
Uh-huh.
So that was a good question you asked earlier, you feel me? So
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, definitely keep me posted, man. I appreciate the call, all right?
Yup. No, it's all good, man. Thank you for the call.
All right, bro. Take care.
Me too.
All right. Love when the young bucks come in, man. Get a little bit of guidance. You feel me? Wish I had that. Wish I can call in on the live. I probably wouldn't have done it, though. Y'all be bold. Young me, I'm definitely not calling into a show like this. Definitely not. I would have like a voice. One of them things change your voice a little bit. I think I'm Darth Vader in this bitch. Hello? Anybody there? Okay. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great, love.
Okay, so my question is, I have been with this guy for 5 years, and we've been having a lot of troubles regarding trust and stuff because he says that he can't trust me because I am in school in a nursing program and I'm in like a group with guys. Like there's like 4 guys in my group, and he's constantly telling me that I'm cheating on him, like I'm flirting with these guys, blah, blah, blah. And then he pretty much told me that I need to give him money for us to like work anything out or get remotely close to working anything out, because he would give me money here and there during our relationship.
How was he tying money to trust?
I have no idea. He's basically saying that I stole money from him because he gave me money when we were together, and he thinks that I was cheating on him because I was in school.
So have you unpacked why he thinks you're cheating on him? Meaning like asked him what makes you think that I'm cheating on you?
Yeah, I have, and it's because last year, December, there was an incident where I went to brunch with my entire clinical group, which was like 10 people, and 6 of them were girls, including me, and 4 of them were guys. And he got really mad because I went there and there were guys there.
How did he know you went there?
Because I told him honestly.
Gotcha. How old are you two?
I'm 27 and he's 30.
Okay.
He just turned 30.
Gotcha. So what problem are we solving here? What's your question?
Does the whole give me money to work things out, does all of that like make sense? Like, because it really doesn't to me.
What did he give you money for?
He's saying that I stole money from him because he thinks that I cheated on him.
Okay, so the real thing is just he just feels like you cheated on him.
Yeah, but I did send him $180 just to kind of see where he was going with it. Yeah, but after I sent it to him, he stopped responding. Oh, and then he asked me for like my screen time, screenshots of like my screen time.
For what?
To see what I'm doing, to see if I'm on like apps or anything like that.
Right. How long have y'all been together?
5 years.
Huh.
It'll be 5 years this coming Saturday.
And how long ago did this accusation start?
I want to say, well, he's actually been like accusing me ever since I started school, which was like 3 years ago. But it's never been this bad until maybe like, I want to say like 6 months ago.
Is it school or is it you becoming a nurse?
I don't know. I think maybe it might be that I'm becoming a nurse, because he would say comments to me like, you're a fucking, oh, sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but you're a effing,
stereotypical nurse.
Right, it's the nurse thing that got him. This chronically online stuff is ruining people's brains, man. Oh yeah, it's the nurse thing that's really fucking with him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean the
so
money thing doesn't make a lick of sense. What does he do for a living?
he's an MRI tech.
Okay, so
But
he's in
even
the medical
that, the
field
reason
too.
why he even did that is because I told him to go to school.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna leave this connection, or are you gonna send some more money? What's your plan?
Um. Well, I just wanted like a male input on what the hell this guy is even thinking with the whole money thing, because I don't understand either.
How much money did he give you? I'm sure was it more than $180? Like what was he giving you money
Yeah,
for?
I mean the money that he's referring to is, so he won some money sports betting, and then at the time I was not working, and he was still having me like pay for like food and like groceries and stuff like that. And so like when he won money from sports betting, I kind of looked at him like, are you freaking serious, you know? And then so he ended up giving me $400, and that's the money that he's referring to.
Right.
Yeah, so I told him when we were like kind of talking about it, I was like, the reason why you even gave me that money was because I was fronting you when I don't even have a job and I'm in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, you stole money from me because you were cheating on me, you were talking to other guys.
Okay. So that's just an ego thing. I wouldn't put you're trying to make sense of an ego thing. It's not. It's no need to think about. The real problem here is insecurity. It has nothing to do with money. So this is someone who's going to remain insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to stay with him, you're just going to have to deal with insecurity.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah, I don't think I could stay with that then.
I wouldn't.
And it's never gonna change, right? Because he's freaking 30 now, acting like this still.
It's not an age thing. There's just no evidence to suggest that he will change. Don't ever think someone's going to change without any kind of evidence that points towards change. You can change at any age, but there needs to be evidence. There is none. So you have to assume he's going to remain this way.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much for the advice
No
and
problem, dear.
listening.
Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Who else do we got?
Hello,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So I have a question. I'm a little bit nervous to say it because it's a tad bit controversial, but not entirely.
Okay. What's going on?
Um, I'm at a place now where I'm wondering, is it really okay to give up on like dating and relationships? Is there a time when it's where it's okay, or should you keep pursuing it?
Give up on dating relationships, such as like an actual relationship, or just the idea of finding somebody?
Um, I guess I guess both. I mean, like, I would say giving up on love as a goal and focusing on more like other things. Like I think you were talking earlier about taking like the energy of like negative emotions and like I guess they call it transmuting it and turning it into something positive. I find that helps, but like, you know, I identify with a lot of the ladies here that talked about like I think one girl was like 27 or 29 or something, and she spent a lot of time on a relationship, and you know, it got me to thinking like, yeah, I was there, and I don't know, I'm at a place now where I'm a little older, and I don't know if I should continue even thinking about, you know, dating and relationships or even marriage at this point.
So if you were guaranteed to have a relationship at some point in your life, would you still want to try?
Honestly, that's kind of the dilemma. Like, I don't think I'm not. I don't think I would. I don't think so.
Why not?
But is that a bad thing, or is that
No,
like?
there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just want to get to inner motivations. So why wouldn't you try?
Um, I mean, like I said, it was, you know, like I said, I identify with that with the girl that was talking about being 29 and being with that guy. Like, I was at that age. I hate to quote Kevin Samuels. Like, I feel like that sounds so bad, but there's like the marketplace, right? And age works in a certain factor, and I wasted a lot of time with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, I'm in my early 30s now, and I kind of feel like it's a little bit too late. A little bit.
Why do you feel like it's too late? Too late for what? To find somebody?
Yeah.
What? Why do you think that specifically?
You know, I mean, again, I really feel embarrassed to quote Kevin, but like, you know, he talks about like 35 is like that, which it kind of is. Like 35 kind of is that little benchmark where it's like, you know, dating changes around that time, and I'm 33, so it's like I'm a little bit like I don't know if I should continue pursuing it.
How does it change?
Well, I'm going based off what I hear, but like you know, it just seems as if, you know, the women are they're looking for someone younger, they're looking for someone that, you know, fits certain criteria. And I believe in the feminine, submissive thing. Mm-hmm. I just had a baby, so I'm still losing a lot of weight for the fitness part. But
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I find that I'm a little bit nervous to continue. And it's just like I'm at a crossroads where I don't really know if it's possible.
Gotcha. Okay. How long ago did your last relationship end?
I've only been in like really, honestly, 2 serious relationships. One, my child's father, and then the person before him. And the person before him was the guy I was with for a long time.
Okay.
My child's father just kind of like a whirlwind engagement type of crap, and you know that was different. But the guy before him, I was with him for 4 years.
Okay. And your child's father, how long were you with him?
Oh, so we were together. I actually, we met, and I got pregnant, like within the first week.
Okay.
So yeah, that was, we kind of had no choice there, but yeah, we didn't really last super long. We kind of talk here and there, but not really. But he's not a factor. He's, you know, yeah, he's actually incarcerated, so we don't talk.
Gotcha. How did you meet him?
They're my neighbor.
Okay. Okay. So it was a short relationship. And how long ago did that end?
To be a little honest, I saw him in May, after he was briefly released. We tried again for the sake of the baby, and I was like, nope, this is not conducive to a happy, healthy family, so you can go. So, yeah.
Okay, so in May it ended fully.
Yes.
Okay, so part of this is just the fact that that's still fresh. This isn't the real you speaking. This is like grief talking. So first I would say is just like spend some time in solitude, taking care of your child and kind of work through that. But none of what you say is objectively true, right? Like we can disprove it. A good heuristic that I like to use is if it doesn't defy the laws of physics, it's possible. You just said something wasn't possible, something that people do every single day. People in their 30s find someone, people in their 40s find someone, people in their 50s find someone, 60s, 70s. There's people in the old folks' home pulling that diaper to the side.
Yeah, but it's like I find that men, I'm not saying all, but like right. I've dated, you know, after the guy that I was with for a long time, and I dated after my child's father. it just feels, not it feels like it really is a lot of, they either want like sometimes they want to smash or they want money. It's
Right.
like,
So
you know, that feels dehumanizing in a way.
right. So you just have to change your approach. So there's different archetypes of men and women. If you are experiencing a pattern of the same archetype, that means there is something about your strategy that must be adjusted. That's all.
I didn't know I could have a strategy that was more, I guess,
Absolutely.
imperative. I don't know if that's a better word to use, but I
Absolutely.
guess I thought that and feel free to school me because I didn't know this.
Yeah, like
'Cause I
like
knew,
for
like,
example.
with Kevin, like you're fit, feminine, submissive. You try to, be, make sure that you're keeping yourself groomed, make sure that you have your own finances, all that stuff in order, and
Right.
homemaking and all that. But that's all I knew because I'm still operating off of the playbook I had with the guy for my 20s.
Right. Right.
So what do we do, I guess, at this age?
Well, I'll
to
give you an
strategize
example.
better?
I'll give you an example what I'm talking about, right? So, the environment that you date in matters. So, like for people who have been following me for some time, they know I'm pretty much anti-dating app. Okay, dating apps tend to select for people who have some severe attachment issues. Not all the time. Doesn't mean everyone on the dating app does. It just means that there's an overrepresentation of people up there like that. So you're more likely to get a damaged person if you're dealing with a dating app. You know, you'll find people who are avoidantly attached, people who are fearful avoidant, people who have just left a relationship and are using the dating app to regulate, find a rebound. You're dealing with people who just are interested into short-term dynamics, right? So if you're on a dating app, you're dating within that pool of those people. Now, if you date consistently within that pool of people, you're going to have a bad time because the environment also influences behavior. So on a dating app, the app itself incentivizes you to talk to 5 to 10 people simultaneously. Probably is not the best idea to talk to someone who is also entertaining 8 other people actively, right? So you're going to have a different dating experience if you're dating exclusively from a dating app than somebody else who is not. So the environment matters. It's not that dating is dating. It's there's different levels and different types of dating. Some people have strategies when it comes to dating, right? So what I always encourage people to do is to meet organically. Okay? And there's 2 ways to meet organically. You can put yourself in dynamic environments or static environments. Dynamic environments are environments where every time you go, you see different people. It's not bad, but it's not ideal. Static environments are the complete opposite. They're environments where when you go, you see the same people over and over and over again. Now, historically, this is how we've always pair bonded. We've had a community approach to dating. When you see the same people over and over and over again, you benefit from something called the mere exposure effect, which means that the more interactions you have with the person, the higher the likelihood that you would develop a liking toward them. In static environments, you also get the benefit of reputation, right? So when you're in an environment where everybody knows everybody else, people start to engage in reputation management. They don't want to have a bad rep. And when you're dating people who don't want to have a bad rep, they tend to treat you a bit better. Also, if they do have a bad reputation, you will likely be warned about that within the static environment. Let's say a guy comes to you, he's trying to talk to you. Maybe you're feeling him a little bit, you give him your number, and then another woman pulls you to the side and says, like, he talks to everybody in here, ignore him, right? You don't get that on a dating app. You don't get that in a dynamic environment, right? Based on what you've told me thus far, you definitely have a vetting issue. You're not reading people accurately. That's a skill. You can learn that. It's way easier to learn that skill than it is to deprive yourself of a relationship because there's skills that you haven't learned. I see someone who is no, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, I was saying I agree, and I wanted to kind of put a little bit of a nuance there. I think with me, I try to vet people. I go kind of more what's good on paper versus what's good in totality. For example, the guy from my 20s, he had a great job, he had a degree, he was physically fit, very intelligent, participated in Toastmasters, blah, blah, blah. And, he's a community leader. I think he was a deacon in the church and everything. And, oh my God, worst thing ever happened to me. Because he was terrible on the inside, very, very damaged on the inside.
Right. So when you vet, one of
yeah.
the most important things that you're looking for is character.
Yeah.
How do you discern character? When there's a pattern of behavior. What is pattern of behavior? 3 or more occurrences of the same behavior. The pattern has been established.
Yeah.
You can slap a character trait on them. Once you put a character trait on somebody, they are predictable.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's like the character vetting, like you're saying, as well as the environment vetting. Because I'll be quite honest with you, both men were picked, not, again, I was kind of too young to understand at the time, but now I can see it, like, because my mentor, I have a mentor in Chicago, she's wonderful, and she always talks about staticky people. I'm like, why does she keep saying that word? And I can see it now, staticky people are bred from staticky environments, so it's like you fix a lot of that problem, and correct me if I'm wrong, by changing the environment that you're choosing to date from. Is that correct?
Yeah, so like a static environment, an additional benefit is it can act as a filtering mechanism for quality that you are selecting for.
Wow, I guess like this is you're pretty good. You're amazing. Like that's excellent. I guess this is how to say this, because for me, I'm not gonna fully point the finger at them. I think that for me, I came from a really, really rough neighborhood, and I kind of pulled myself up from my quote unquote bootstraps, if you will, for lack of a better term. And I think that came with a lot of deconditioning, because I would often, like, when you're at the bottom, you don't understand what bad character looks like, because that's what you see every day.
Right.
And I feel like now it's easier to be like, maybe that's not compatible anymore. That's just kind of where I'm at. I'm not kind of at the place where it's like, oh, geez, like, this is great character. I'm learning what good character looks like.
Yeah, it's just a skill, love. A good heuristic that I use for life is that everything is skills. Everything are skills. So that means that anything is learnable. So you just need a strategic change, not necessarily to give up on the game.
You're right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, dear. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Okay.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care. All right. Who else do we got? Dev, what's going on? You're right, Sabrina. Hold on, real quick. If you want coaching, you DM me the word coach. You get a 1 hour coaching call where you'll get clarity over your situation. You learn exactly what is happening and, more importantly, why it's happening. And 2, you get a step-by-step action plan that will tell you exactly what to do next in your specific situation. So if you want a deeper dive than I can offer you in this live, DM me the word coach, and I will send you a link to book your call. All right, who do we have next?
Hey, good night, everyone. Amazing work you're doing. Can you hear me?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just have a question, right? That's been bothering me for for months now, because I still can't find an answer, right? So a little bit of background. I was dating this girl for like the last 4 years, and we went through a lot of struggles together. And it came a point about 8 months ago. I had a family member that was very, very sick, and I just felt like, I don't think I can continue the relationship anymore, because I don't want to be my emotions to be a burden to somebody else, and then, I wanted the person to be there for me, don't get me wrong, but I just brought that up because I was not sure, if the person, I didn't want to put that pressure on them, because it's a life and death situation, right? And I knew that I would be spending a lot of my finances in this person's life, not like the person that was very sick, their life and everything. I have to step up financially and everything. So I didn't want to be I'm able to be there for my partner, right? So she took it as I pushed her away and she moved on, But for me, the question I've been asking myself is did she even really like me? Because she never tried to fight for the relationship, say, even though I tried to push her away, don't get me wrong, she didn't be hey, do you know what? I'm here for you, because I feel like if situations were reversed between me and this person, and she was hey, do you know what? I think you just do your own thing, I'll be fine. I would have insisted to say, hey, I want to be there. But she never insisted. She just went ahead with her life, you know. So it's just been really bothering me. I'm like, I know maybe I did the wrong thing because this was the first time I'm in this kind of situation before. But at the same time, I'm not sure, you know, just like from your own experience, what do you think about that, you know?
Kind of confused about the situation, brother. So just in one sentence, tell me what the problem is.
Okay, the problem was like, it's my mom actually. My mom was diagnosed with cancer for a while, you know. She's been fighting cancer for a while. And she's had like 2 recurrence, and she's has like, it came back again this time, you know. And I'm a medical doctor by profession. I'm working very hard. I've seen a lot of sick people. You know how this thing can go, you know. You know, like, hey, you can lose this person. And I was also afraid because I didn't want to, like, I didn't know what's going to happen like 7 months down the line, 8 months down the line. And I didn't just want to put that pressure on anybody just in case anything happens. I didn't want you to grieve with me because I feel like you're a young person, you're in your 20s, you should not be dealing with this, you know. You're not married to me, you know. So I kind of pushed her away. I wish she was there because she was also a person I really, really talked to a lot. And then she just moved on with her life, you know. And sometimes I feel like I have this like resentment sometimes, like, hey, did she even really like me? Because like if she was in the same scenario, I would have actually like stayed back to like, I wouldn't have just moved on when you just pushed me the first time away, you know. So yeah, that's the situation basically.
So what problem are we solving for here?
No, the problem I'm trying to ask is like, in that kind of situation, I'm wondering like, did this person love me or not? Like,
How long? Okay, so how old are you two?
Huh?
How old were you two?
I'm 27. She's like 24.
Okay, and how long were y'all together?
4 years, like since I was 23, 24, 22, 23. So we're together for like 4 years.
Okay, and you said that you pushed her away?
Yeah, and then when I was like, hey, do you know what? I don't think I can do this anymore. But then she just went like no contact on me, didn't talk to me at all. And
So
that was
you
it.
pushed her
Every time I
away
was-
by saying you don't want to do this anymore?
But it's because of circumstances. Like I didn't feel like I was afraid of everything. I didn't want to put.
No,
my
I get
in
I
my
get
eye,
I
you
get the context, brother. I'm just trying to ascertain exactly how you pushed her away. So are you saying that you pushed her away by saying that you don't want to do this anymore?
know? Yeah, I was like, I don't think I can continue this right now. You know?
Okay, so you broke up with her.
And then, okay, but in that scenario, because she left just immediately, would you say that she didn't love me, or like,
So you broke up with her, and your question to me is, did she love you?
yeah, I don't know.
What did you expect her to do? Like, what would somebody who loved you have done
because
differently?
like we've had situations before whereby like I always try to also like be there for her, you know. And this is the first time I didn't have any hope in me anymore, you know. I was hopeless. Talking about like I gave you the context of what was going on at the time, you know. So maybe I was just overreacting when I got the news and everything. But I don't know, you know. So
Right, but you understand now the situation, right? Like, you broke up with her. So what were you expecting her to do? To fight for you?
I mean, I would have done the same, you know. I wouldn't have just moved on like that. That's the whole point, you know. I don't know because it
Well,
was like
to play devil's advocate, she probably wouldn't have pushed you away if she was in your current situation.
yes, I get that. I think she wouldn't have done that.
Right. So
But for me,
people are different.
like-
So we can't project ourselves onto other people. Right. So I can't answer the question whether she loved you or not, right? I mean, you would be able to answer that more than I can. Sounds like she did. She was with you for 4 years, but you know, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. But the data that you're giving me doesn't suggest that she didn't love you. It just suggested that she probably has some self-respect, and somebody who broke up with her, she just decided to leave.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I hear you though, bro. Like, I get it. Don't beat yourself up over the situation. Like, both of y'all are young, and your mother is sick. So I feel for you. I get it. People can react in all types of ways going through something like that. So I wouldn't beat yourself up over this. But I also wouldn't blame her for anything because she didn't necessarily do anything wrong in the situation. Okay?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
All right, brother. Best luck to you. All right. What do we got next? Did he say the mom is going now? I didn't hear him say that. I hope that's not the case. Who do we got next? Who do we got next? Of course, Wynette sitting here looking at me in the queue. I ain't even try to bring you up, Wynette. I already know you didn't mean to hit that button. Every live I see you pop in. Come on, ladies, we want to hear from you too. We have had a lot of men callers today, right? She did the right thing and leave. It's a gray area situation. Why don't you charge per questions? Oh, because I charge for my coaching calls. I don't need to charge on the live. Again, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. I've seen other people do lives like this, and they charge to bring people up. Bad business model, if you ask me. It kind of discourages people from calling in. It's not that serious. Yeah, he did something he's not saying. How do we come to that conclusion? You can have people send a galaxy. I know, but it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. I don't mind it. There's some bits and pieces to the story. Possibly, but it seemed pretty straightforward to me. How much money do they make for a galaxy? It's like $7 or $12 or something like that. It ain't nothing. You would think the way they beg for it, that they make way more than that. But it's like 7 or 12. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. Yeah, TikTok does somehow. I believe you're valuable. I appreciate you, Keith.
Together.
Oh, boy. I thought we had a troll. Whoever sent that, appreciate it. But it's a profit of $8. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? $8? What are you doing with that? I was about to say, Maz, get him gone. Who's trolling? We remember that. Hey, Maz, remember Buddy? This is before the reason why I have the it gated to where I have to let you up is because I got trolled one time. I used to have it set up to where like when you request it up, it automatically let you up. There was a guy singing Bruno Mars, and we would block him. And every time we blocked him, he had like 100 spam accounts. He would immediately log into another account, come back up, and pick up where he left off in the song. And I would block that one, and then he would pick up again where he left off in the song. Yeah, we had to go ahead and handle that problem. Excellent troll, though. Gotta be honest. Excellent troll. But yeah, we had to handle that. For sure. For sure. All the OGs remember that shit. That motherfucker was mad annoying. That was not on YouTube, Mary. I didn't have, I wasn't streaming on YouTube at the time. I feel like I've seen him in other lives. Probably. He seems like he has a good time doing it. Seems like he has a good time doing it. Why isn't this person showing up? TikTok might be glitching. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you
Hello.
doing? Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can. What can I do for you?
So basically, I met a guy on Hinge about 3-4 months ago, and he's 37, I'm 33, and we're both in school. Like, I'm just finishing up medical school and in my last year, and he is being a nurse practitioner. And so we're both students right now, and basically like he's like an MMA fighter. He's like super fit and all of that, and he's really into fitness. And then when we met initially, he like we talked on the phone for like about a week before meeting, because I was like, I want to gauge like what kind of person he is. And then we ended up meeting. But like even off the bat, like in the beginning, he was like the first time when we met, he hugged me and I was wearing like a loose cardigan, and he was like, oh, like and he kind of like started like patting me down, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, like I'm just like, seeing what's there, since like, you're wearing a loose cardigan. And I was like, oh, okay, right. And then like later on, like a week went by and I was at his house and I sat on his lap, and he was like, I was like, oh, like, am I heavy? And he's like, oh, well, like, I haven't weighed you yet. Like, and I was just like, oh. And then later on, I was like, yo, like, well, what did that mean? And he's like, no, like, I meant like, I don't know, like, he's like, you are kind of thick. And I was like, okay. And like, I do acknowledge that I am thick, but like,
Hey,
I'm not like severely, sorry?
I said, hey, I was celebrating your thickness. Continue.
Yeah. So like I was like, I'm not like severely like obese or something like that, but of course like I have gained weight like being in school and stuff, but like I'm still like a lot of people find me attractive. I still get hit on like all the time and everything. And then basically he was just like, I told him like I want to lose weight. And he's like, yeah, like I gained a few pounds too in school, like I want to lose weight too. And then yeah, and so everything was kind of going like fine and good, but like I realized he started getting like really short with me, and like little things would like upset him. And like I'm like often late, which is something I admit and I do need to work on. But like one day he just like freaked out at me and like made a scene in a restaurant, and I was like, yo, and I told him after, I was like, if you act like that again, like I am not gonna like tolerate that, and I'm gonna leave you. Because like the manager had to come too, and he's like, yo, this is a restaurant, like don't behave like this here, take it outside kind of thing. But anyways, we, things became better, whatever. And yeah, but he would still be like short with me. But he has like made comments on my weight like here and there, like not directly, but like one time he took me out for ice cream, and then I had a few more spoons than him, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then he like snatched the ice cream from me, and he like put the cap on it, and he's like, yeah, like good, like you're just going at it, like you need to like stop, right? And I was just like kind of like pissed off, and I was like, yo, that's like so rude of you. And then anyways, I just kind of got the feeling that he's like taking me for granted, and he's like very fixated on like physical appearances. And like we have slept together before, but like so basically on August 1st, I met him after 2 weeks, because he went on holidays and I went on holidays, but like he was with his family and I was with mine. And so basically when he came back on August 1st, we were chilling the whole day, was like everything was going good. And then suddenly he started crying, and I was like, yo, what's up and stuff. And he's like, oh, like I'm not doing well, like I'm just not good for you, like I don't want to bring you down and everything. And then he basically, long story short, I was like, are you just like not attracted to me? And he's like, well, you're pretty. And I was like, so what does that mean? Like, are you breaking up with me because you're not attracted to me because I'm overweight? And he was like, he's like, I don't want to hurt your self-esteem, and I don't want to like put you down and like that kind of thing. He's like, you're a perfect girl, like everything about you is perfect and everything. And he's introduced me to like all of his family too. But he was like, yeah, like you're perfect in every other way, and like like I should be able to like get it up after you're like after we're spooning for like half an hour, but like I just can't. And like I'm trying really hard, and like in the beginning I was infatuated with you and stuff, and like I thought I could be patient, but like I don't know, like it's just like the physical attraction isn't there. And I was like, you know what, that's fine.
All right, love. The Moz muted you because we got to get to the question. So like within the next 2 sentences, which is probably a bad measurement because I haven't heard a period yet, but the next 2 sentences, next 15 words, we gotta get the question. Okay, so I'm gonna mute you now. All right.
Okay. I'm just wondering if I should take him back, because the next day he messaged me, or he called me and he messaged me and he's like, I'm going to try to work on my anger. And he like actually went and like reconciled with like some of his family today. And he's like, I'm going to try to be like a better person. And a lot of the resentment towards my family, I take out my anger on you. And then he said that like he feels like he made like.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, Love, the Maz removed you. I think they removed you at the 40th word count. But I would say don't take him back. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. Like I always tell people to focus on the what, not the why. A lot of people confuse themselves because they focus on the why. So they're like, why is this person doing that? Or the person has a compelling why as to why they're treating the person poorly. Only thing you need to focus on is the what. Meaning their behavior, meaning the way they're treating you. If that's not in alignment with how you want to be treated, move on. Moss, has she called in before? Do y'all remember? It was a woman I had to check before, because she called in like twice. But it was that like, using the word like a lot, and then like talking for a very long time. That's in the Moz though, because some of you have only been here for like 6 months or so. But this was like a 8th month type of thing. Where my mods at? We got any mods here? CJ, Kiana, Express, Hannah, do y'all remember? Hannah, if you don't know, then don't nobody know for real. Do I say like a lot? Yeah. Sabrina, on our second date, I noticed it. I'm like, she says like a lot. But I fucks with it. I like it. They said yes. Okay. It may have been someone who just talks like her. It may not be her specifically. But can't take too much of that. Lose my mind. Gonna lose my mind. All right. That'll be the last call, unfortunately. So, you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. I'll answer it there. I don't blame him. She needs to lose weight in her lips. All right, CJ, relax. I didn't like it with her, Samara. I like it with you though. You're A-okay. Her? It was like the speed. It was a speed. Right? She had Barry Allen lips. I'm sure CJ got that reference. What's going on, Gigi? No, she wasn't trolling. Trolls can't talk that fast. When trolls are saying something, they're making it up. You can't talk that fast and not breathe and also be using your imagination simultaneously. No, she wasn't trolling. I believe that's a real situation. But she definitely reminds me of a previous caller, though. I don't remember the story. I remember having to like reveal to her actual motivations because she was a bit toxic, but it may or may not be the same person. Unless you're really good at it. No, something would have slipped, Maya. It would have been like a contradiction or something like that if you're talking that fast and also making the story up as you go. But yeah, love, I just saw you said you wanted advice. I gave you the advice, beloved. The advice is to leave that situation. Yeah, you just need to leave that situation. That's it. It doesn't work out. That she was spooning with him after she took the spoon. No, because you funny as shit. I was trying my best not to break during this live so I can be like Mr. Serious Man. Could be Mr. Serious Guy. But when Shorty called in and she was talking about she was talking about the guy who was incarcerated, and I was like, "How'd you meet him?" And she was like, "My neighbor." Knuckles immediately said, "Punch the neighbor." It was the brevity of the sentence. He wasn't like, "You need to." It was just punch the neighbor. About lost it. Kept my composure though. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. There's a couple people you got to watch out for in the chat. Knuckles is one of them. Maya is another one. Because Maya almost had me laugh too when Shorty was talking about Buddy wanted her to give him some money. She was like, "I'm just trying to see if it makes sense for me to give him the money." And Maya said, "I don't even care if it did make sense." I don't even care if it did make sense. You won't get not one coin out of me. Not one coin. I don't blame you. It was a wild situation. The afternoon lives and the night lives are like very interesting. How different they are. We did have a couple of good calls this afternoon. Got some good ones tonight too. But Marquette, since the Dallas trip is almost here, remember a good burger. Try maple and motor and a good steak. Okay. Or do you have stock in that company? Vaseline. I'm gonna go there. Yeah, I'm a big burger fan. But I feel like when I go there, you're gonna be the CEO. I got a sneaky suspicion. When I head in there, I'm gonna see your picture on the wall, shaking hands with like George W. Bush or some shit. Like he also came there and had a good meal. I knew it. Good ass burger though. So Gigi, you gotta remind me when we go there, because Vaseline swears by this place. So I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. For those of you who don't know, we're going to Dallas August 14th through the 17th as a team. We got some people from the chat popping out too. Y'all are welcome to join us. You cannot access the Airbnb, unfortunately. That is locked down. Few people from the chat will be in the Airbnb, but it's limited. But we are also going to explore the city. We have an itinerary for Saturday. Places we're going to hit, things we're going to do. So if you want to pop out to the Dallas area, meet the crew, show some crew love, you're invited. You are invited. Okay. I will let you know. Hannah and yeah, Fran, you should definitely pop out. You should definitely show face, I would say. I think that's a good idea. August 14th through the 17th. Hannah and Danny will be security. Don't try no shit. All right? I know I'm handsome and funny, but don't try no shit when I'm out there in Dallas. Okay? Hannah and Danny are going to be security, and they got them things on them. Especially Hannah. That's the one you got to watch out for. You think it's Danny. You think it's Danny. See, a lot of y'all think Danny got a fat ass and some hips. That's the blicky. That's the blicky. That's the blickies on him. Huh? Danny's actually very skinny. All that weight that you see, none of the blicks. So don't try it. Don't try it. I just scheduled another late call before you go to Dallas. Yeah, come on. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Now you can tell Hannah don't play. I'm telling you, Hannah got fire to her. I ain't seen it, but I know it because she's way too sweet. She's too sweet. And I'm like, the pendulum swings. So I already know what time it is. Maya, why you throwing shade? What's going on? You were mad at me when our call ran over? I wasn't mad at you. They've heard me roll rage just a bit. I remember I was talking to a woman Very phenomenal girl too. There's no shade to her. She's great, beautiful too. So if you're watching, she told me she had road rage, and I was like, I said, "What's your red flag?" No, I got road rage. I was like, "You mean just rage?" No, road rage. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think people just get mad on the road. I think if you have road rage, you get mad in general. That'd be a goofy person who just doesn't get mad in real life, but if they're behind the wheel, you better watch the fuck out. Nah, you got road rage. You got rage. It just also happens to take place on the road. But I say again, phenomenal person. None of that rage was directed at me. What do you think are going to be the most like their online presence? Hannah. Sabrina says I definitely have road rage. Yeah, you're 4'6", so it's kind of you got to scare people off somehow. But I do think Hannah's going to be most like her. I actually think Maya's going to be a little bit bashful. Hannah called you corny. What'd she call you corny for? I think we'll also see another side of Danny because we get to see him like unmask. We get to see Bruce Wayne, to follow the analogy. But I believe Hannah's going to be the most like her online persona. For sure. I'm just like this too. The only difference with me is if you spend enough time with me, I can't keep this shit up all day. Can't do it. Requires a lot of energy. Y'all see me come on live and like for most of that day, if I didn't have coaching calls, I probably was quiet. And I come up here, wonka, like to start entertaining and shit, asking questions. But I am like this for like pockets of the day. So either I'm like this or I'm like chill. Can't possibly keep this up 24/7 though. That's too much energy. Maya, why don't you believe me? That's crazy. That's wild. All the people, Maya, we supposed to be here. We supposed to be here. You've been switching up on me. You getting into fearful avoidant mode. Are you agreeing with me? Okay. I retract my last statement. I love you. Maya, we getting in the pool? Maya, can you swim? Gigi, I love you. I love you more. I don't love you more, but we got a different type of connection. It's just different. It's just different between the two of us. Gigi, you know how we get down. A great, I was about to say great swimmer. Like I was fucking 6 years old. I'm a great swimmer. It's that Elmer Fudd energy because I'm bald. But I'm not a great swimmer. I cannot drown is how I would describe it. You gotta worry about me drowning. I'm really good at not drowning. So I would say I can swim. Gotta watch Hannah in the pool because she will be quite intoxicated. I don't know if she can swim or not. Hannah, can you swim? And Danny's going to have to lifeguard. Don't even jokingly say that because Danny takes any role you give him extremely seriously. I love him for it. That's my guy. But extremely seriously. If you call Danny a lifeguard, he would come out there with a whistle some tight red shorts. He might even run in slow motion to his seat on some Baywatch shit. You got to be careful with that. He's already stressed. He's already had to do so much work putting this shit together. Danny is the guy who put the entire meetup together. He's quarterbacked this thing from the very start. I don't even remember what the Airbnb looked like. I ain't even thought about this shit. I just been inviting people. I'm the marketing guy. I just get the attention. I haven't thought about logistics at all. I don't know who's picking me up from the airport. Hannah, you got me? I don't know what room is mine. None of that shit. I delegated all that to Danny. He's handled it with precision. Kiana as well has been helping with the planning process. But Danny's like owned it. Go with the flow. That's how I live my life, Lindsay. You know me. That's how I live my life. Any last minute questions before I get out of here? In the chat, that is. No more calls. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, thank you, Val. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I love compliments like those. What's a general way to make my vetting system more reliable? Just focus on character. Not exclusively, but you get it. A lot of people miss it. Sale has a lifeguard bill. Sale does have the lifeguard bill. I think Sale is somebody who, when he comes out, not of the closet, but just when he comes out to Airbnb, maybe the closet too. You never know. Never know. But when he comes to Dallas, I feel like we'll see him open up a lot more. Like the closet. He's taking off the hinges, if you will. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got to throw a little bit of, a few shots at Sale. Sale can take it. Hence being in the, okay, we're done with that. No questions? All right. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll go live twice a day. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. If you want to watch the replays of these lives, you can watch them on YouTube. Link is in the bio for that. It's at The Signal Dating. What else? If you want coaching, DM me the word coach, and I will tell you how to book your 1-hour coaching call. Okay? That's it for me, people. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.